Good morning. We are now on the record. Today's date is April 15th, 2022, and the time is approximately 10:54 a.m. Eastern Time. My name is Kim Jones, and I'm the officer designated by Remote Legal, 381 Park Avenue South, New York, to take the recording of this proceeding. This is the deposition of Ms. Samantha Cardin, taken in the matter of Rian Waters versus Aidan Kearney et al., civil action number 𝗃𝗄𝗃𝗧𝗂𝗄𝗃344, filed in the Superior Court in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. This deposition is being taken remotely on behalf of the plaintiff and is being conducted pursuant to the procedural rules and laws governing this matter. As such, all parties agree to this means of capturing the record, which may include recording by audio, audiovisual, or stenographic means, as if it were done by traditional in-person means. Further, all parties agree that the deposition officer or person administering the oath may be authorized to administer the oath under the rules of the state where they reside. Do you both agree?
Yes.
I agree.
Would the parties please identify themselves for the record, starting with you, Ryan?
I am Rian Waters, plaintiff Rian Waters.
And I am Samantha Cardin.
It's 𝗃𝗄𝗃, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Will the notary please swear in the witness?
My name is Amanda Ricker, Notary Public. Ma'am, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give today in today's proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
So I have to ask you a question. Samantha, you're going to have the opportunity to read through the transcript and do what we call a read and sign. That means you can read through it, make any changes that have to do with typographical kind of errors.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want the opportunity to do that, or are you going to waive your opportunity?
I don't, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I'll wait for my opportunity.
Okay. All right. So just one more thing, when you answer, can you please answer with yes or no and no uh-huhs or uh-uhs, okay?
Yes.
All right, Ryan, you can go ahead.
Hello, Samantha. Have you taken any drugs today or done anything that would impair your ability to give your best testimony today?
No.
Excellent. All right, so I'm going to start on, do you, strike that. Have you heard of the Emerald magazine?
The Emerald magazine. Is that the one in NorCal? I don't know.
Yeah.
So yes.
Correct. Yes. Was your daughter featured ever on that magazine?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me actually take a step back. How far have you gone through schooling? What's your highest grade of completion?
What does this have anything to do with what we're here for?
You can object, but you still have to answer the question.
High school diploma.
Okay. Sorry, that threw me off a little bit. Strike that for the record. Okay. Where in California did we live when Lila was born? I didn't hear that. Yeah, I can't hear her.
Yeah, give me one moment. I'm going to message her. She might have to refresh again.
did not hear the
Can
last
you hear
question.
us now, Samantha?
I can hear you now, but I did
There
not
you
hear the
go.
last
Okay.
question.
All right. All right, Samantha. Me and you were in a relationship, correct?
Yes.
Do you know approximately how long that relationship lasted?
4.5 years. Yes.
Okay. And when did that relationship end?
December 31st, 2016.
All right, thank you. We had a daughter together, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And where was she born?
In Red Bluff, California.
Okay. And where were we residing when she was born?
In Anderson, California.
Okay. Now, when we moved out of that house, where did we move to?
Forest Glen, California.
Okay. And we stayed at a house. It said unstable. We stayed at a house until you ended up moving back to Three Rivers, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Can you describe that house just a little bit?
It was a house in the middle of absolutely nowhere with a ton of bedrooms and not a ton of people that lived in it. There was a lot of dogs.
Okay.
Very
Thank you.
beautiful place. Very beautiful place.
Thank you. Now, during this time, when we lived in California, did you ever work anywhere?
Yes.
What type of work did you end up doing?
I worked on cannabis farms trimming weed.
Okay. And would it be correct to say that sometimes you would work for weeks or even months at a time, where you would work away from the house?
Not for months at a time. I would leave for a few days and then come back, yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Sorry. All right. So on December 31st, 2016, was I living with you
Yep.
in Palmer, Massachusetts?
You were not. You were living in California.
Okay. I apologize, I don't have it as an exhibit ready, but an officer, he claimed that in his narrative that you told him that I lived in Massachusetts with you. If that would be incorrect, correct? Like, he must have made a mistake there.
Yeah, you were visiting for Christmas.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Now, on we ended up having the DCF started a case over this incident. Is that correct? The December 31st. Thank you. When I believe you showed up to the first time there was going to be a hearing in March of 2017. But I believe, let's see, hold on. On May 24th, you did receive a subpoena to show up to a DCF hearing, correct?
You jumped around a little bit. You went from March
I
to
apologize.
May 24th.
So in March, you showed up to a DCF hearing, correct?
I must have. I definitely didn't miss it. So yeah.
Well, it ended up, what happened, sorry, I know it's supposed to be questions, but just to refresh your memory, they ended up postponing it because I was not served with any information beforehand. So then I guess my next question, well, I guess you don't really remember it, so I guess strike that, sorry. Okay, do you remember, let me go over the exhibits real quick. Oh, okay.
Can you see how, if you want to use exhibits, how you can do that? You can drag them in. If you click on exhibits, you can either drag them if you're on your computer, just drag it right into the box.
Okay, and then just click share with all when I'm ready.
And you could click share with all, and then we can mark them if you want to mark them, or you can just use them and not mark them. But if you do not mark them, they won't become an exhibit to be used later on.
Got you. Sorry. I wish I was more prepared, but okay.
You're the one that set it up. You should. I didn't have anything.
Right.
All right. So, Samantha, you were.
What is this court case about? Actually, can I ask that? Because I have no idea what this is even about. I just got served papers, which is kind of asinine.
Okay. Well, okay. So what this deposition is about is, were you given or did you sign an affidavit on or around December 1st?
Yes, that you sold drugs in California. Yes. Yep, I did.
Okay. So then you know what this case is about. All right, I apologize. That threw me off a little bit, but there was you ended up having a trying to put a harassment order hearing on me, I believe in 2017. Do you remember on April 27th, 2017, actually? Do you remember filing a harassment order?
It honestly, we've gone through so much stuff, it all just blends together. I do not specifically remember that, but I do believe there was one at some point. So yeah, that sounds about right date-wise.
Okay, you said that we've gone through so much stuff. Can you name some of that stuff?
No, let's just get to the chase, Ryan. Like I have work, I have to pay for our daughter.
You can put in note your objection, but you have to answer the question. What you said that we
some
had
of the stuff
so much
we've gone through.
Yes. What court proceedings have we had?
Well, you beat me up and murdered my dog, and we went to court for that. I ended up not going through with it because I was too scared of you to actually go through with the trial. You've tried to sue me for $125,000. Then you ended up dropping that case, so that was another example. And then here we are for the third time. Yeah. So
to clarify, this is the same case as the one you just said. The second.
Okay.
So
okay. Let's proceed.
Well, let's proceed. Yes. Have you heard of Turtleboy Sports?
Yes, absolutely. Unfortunately, actually.
Do you know who 𝗄𝗄𝗃 is?
Yes.
What is your relationship with 𝗄𝗃?
We have no relationship. We are acquaintances, I guess.
You on the subpoena, you were served with a subpoena for this, correct?
I was not served. My aunt was actually served.
Okay, but did you see the subpoena?
I was served. I'm not sure beyond that what that means.
Okay.
I don't spend much time in court.
Did you read the subpoena?
I tried to. It was really hard to read it.
Okay.
The handwriting was a little ineligible.
Did you notice that it said you were required to bring the emails from you and Mr. Kearney?
No, I did not see that actually.
Okay.
I don't have any emails with him.
So you have never exchanged an email with Aiden Kearney?
Maybe a few years ago, but not too recently. Maybe when I did the subpoena in December, but I think that was through his lawyer. I don't think it was through him.
Okay, so you have emailed with him a couple years ago, and
I believe so.
Okay. Can you? What are you? Are you using a phone right now?
Yes.
Okay, and you don't have access to a computer.
No, I'm trying to work actually. Foreign language
Yes,
for you, I understand, but
the more you cooperate, the easier it'll be to finish. Okay. Sorry, that threw me off a bunch. All right, so let's go back to, so you were living on 2004 Palmer Road, Three Rivers, Mass, back in December 2016, correct?
yes.
Okay, can you describe to me what happened that morning? After, okay, let me help you out with that.
I don't
Yeah.
need your help.
Okay, yes, then please go ahead and describe what happened that morning.
We got into a argument like we often did. You were there visiting for Christmas. We're only there a few days. You headbutt me in the head pretty hard, and my dog ended up being murdered that morning. Took her to the vet. She had to be put down because you broke her back and paralyzed her. And yeah, that was basically what happened that morning.
All right, thank you. So when you say that I killed your dog, can you describe to me how that happened more in detail about how you know that it was me?
I actually, because, well, Lila was 2 and she's completely disabled. She can't walk, so she definitely didn't break the dog's back. I actually wasn't in the room because you had already kind of knocked me out when you headbutt me. So I wasn't actually in the room, but by the time I came back, the dog was already on the floor and unfortunately couldn't walk at that time.
Right after I left that morning.
What did you say right after you left that morning?
I'm saying the dog was you said laying on the floor right after I left the house that morning?
Yeah, she couldn't walk after that. Yes.
Okay. And about what time did I leave that morning? What time did that occur?
I don't recall that as much. I want to say sometime between maybe 10 a.m. and 12 p.m.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Now, do you remember there was kind of a big debate over a cabinet? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it was a pretty one-sided debate. You said a cabinet fell on the dog and it didn't happen. So that wasn't much of a debate. There's no back and forth.
All right. Well, so was there a cabinet in the kitchen?
Yes, the kitchen definitely had a cabinet.
Okay. Did it have a metal cabinet?
Yes.
Okay. Now it happens to be, do you remember talking to a private investigator in around February 2016?
Yes. Wait, 2016?
Or 2017. I
I
apologize.
think it was 2017.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. And that private investigator, he did ask you about that cabinet, correct?
I don't recall much of that. I just know he was there.
Okay. Okay. We ended up while I was in jail, we had several recorded phone calls, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now I'm gonna, you don't technically, I'll warn you that because you don't have an attorney that you don't have to answer this. But did the Fifth Amendment attorney at the date of the trial when you pled the fifth, did he hand you the recorded phone calls or show you the transcript of the recorded phone calls from me and you from the jail?
I don't recall that. I don't recall the phone call scripts, no.
Okay. Do you mind?
I do remember pleading the fifth and that whole thing, but...
Okay. Do you mind sharing what he ended up showing you that day? That made you decide to plead the
I
fifth?
literally don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember. I know I was too scared to testify, so I decided to plead the fifth.
But you don't remember what he showed you that made you want to plead the fifth?
No, I don't.
Do you remember on Facebook that morning saying that you were excited to testify?
Oh, I probably did, yeah. I don't remember that again though. No, it's all a blur.
Okay.
I'm sure I was very, very excited to testify though, so I probably did write that.
So you
Just
have no
just I'm sorry to stop you right here, but I do see that Aiden is on the call. Aiden, are you here? Mr. Kearney, can you hear us? Mr. Kearney? There he is. Okay, just a moment. He's chatting here. Okay, he's refreshing to see if possibly he couldn't hear us. Can you hear us now, Aiden? You can try refreshing in your browser. That might also work. In your browser? Are you using a cell phone or are you using a computer? Is anything covering your camera? Maybe check your settings to your computer. Can you speak to see if we can hear you?
Is this counting as deposition time?
Yes, it is. Let me just I can take us off the record though. Hold on just one moment.
I mean, if I have to take work off, you should have to pay for it. You're the one that called for it.
Okay, we're back on the record. You can continue, Ryan.
All right, Samantha. Are you able to see this exhibit?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever have that phone number?
Mr. Waters, do you want to mark this as an exhibit?
Yes.
I
Okay,
can't-
give me.
I believe so. No, I think that was your phone number. No, I don't know if that was mine or yours.
Okay, but you believe those messages were from, if I were to say that these messages were from December 31st, 2016, you would assume that is correct, right?
Yes.
Okay, now, next question. Well, actually, let me switch, sorry, I'm bouncing around. When was the last time you and Kearney spoke on the phone?
Spoke on the phone.
Yes.
Years.
Okay. When was the last time me and you spoke on the phone?
Also years. Probably close to 5 years.
Okay. Now you said in the beginning when we were off the record that I was not able to know where you live.
Yes.
What order are you speaking about?
My own safety order. You are not to know where I live.
All right, so not a court order, just
No, but there's no reason for you to know where I live.
Okay.
What reason do you have to know where I live? You served me just fine at my dad's house to communicate via court, so I think that's efficient.
Okay. Now you indicated that you are familiar with Aiden Kearney's blog, Turtleboy Sports, correct?
Yes.
Do you how often do you end up reading any of his articles?
Actually, not very often, to be completely honest. Some of them do catch my eye, but click them, read them, move on, maybe once a week.
Okay. Are you aware that he's written several articles about me?
Yes.
Okay. And you've commented on several of them?
Oh, I'm sure. It's crazy that it's still going on 5 years later. This is wild.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
It could all be dropped, like, very easily.
So what do you think of Aiden Kearney's articles written about me?
Written about you?
Yeah.
There's no need to discuss how I feel about them. I mean, they are what they are. I have absolutely nothing to do with them. They do not affect me whatsoever.
Oh, so you don't really like the articles, or you don't care about the articles?
Objection. She never said that.
Objection noted, but I'm asking you. So you don't really care about the articles?
No. Why would I care about them?
Okay, fair enough. Hold on. Were you ever arrested for selling drugs?
No, I've never been arrested.
Okay. Was I ever arrested for selling drugs in California?
No. Not that I'm aware of, unless you got arrested after we broke up, but
Okay. Did you ever hear about a police officer investigation into drug dealing in California?
no, I don't believe so.
Okay. Do you consider yourself a drug user?
No, absolutely not.
Were you using drugs when we lived in California?
Cannabis, yes, absolutely.
Was I using drugs when we lived in California?
Cannabis, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Didn't expect my honesty.
Okay. Did you hear an accusation that I threatened Mr. Kearney's children? Roughly around November 19th, 2021.
Wait, what?
Objection relevance?
Objections noted, but she could
It
still
has nothing to do with the defamation case, Ryan.
Yes, it does.
It has nothing to do with it.
Yes, it does. It's regardless. She has to answer. You can explain that to a judge after if I don't go anywhere.
So what was the question? If I knew if you threatened Aiden's kids?
Yes.
No, why would I know that?
There was a lot of attention on the internet to it. So I was just
Not really, but okay.
Okay. I literally pay no attention to your life, honestly.
Yeah, no one cares.
Well, it's
No.
common. Okay. We're not asking that. Did I own a business out in California?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember what the business was named?
Yeah, Emerald Science. You made and manufactured hash oil machines and equipment.
Did I have a storefront for that business?
Storefront, technically, legality, meh. Yes.
Okay. And do you remember where that store was located?
Redding, California, I believe.
Okay. Do you know when I ended that company?
No, I have no idea.
All right, but you assume I was still operating it when we broke up, correct?
Yeah, I definitely assume you were still manufacturing and distributing hash oil. Absolutely.
That was not the question. I'd strike that.
Now, good answer. I like it. We won't be striking that.
So are you just going to ask me like 6,000 questions? Because I really need to get to work. This was supposed to be from 10
Yeah,
to
some of
11.
us are productive citizens, Ryan. We have things to do, unlike you. I know, it's not going as you planned. I know. Life isn't really going as planned for you at all.
Can you, Mr.
Oh,
Kearney?
you invited me. Here I am. Again, like she said, this is your choice, Ryan. You're choosing to do this.
Kearney,
It could all be over.
It's going to go longer. The more you obstruct, the longer it's going to go.
We're not
If
obstructing
you
anything,
want
Ryan.
any time to speak, you should probably be quiet.
Okay, so can we continue the 100 questions?
Yeah, I would love to. Apologize. All right, so in California, now how many states have you been to?
40 or so.
Okay. And how many of those states did you go to with me? Was your first time going to?
Decent amount.
You'd say more than half?
No.
Okay. So how many would you say was your first time traveling with me?
It is really, it doesn't matter. 10.
10 or so? Okay.
Sure.
We traveled quite often.
Yes, Rian Waters. We traveled quite often.
Would you about how many times a year do you think we would travel by airplane?
How many times a year did you love bomb me after abusing me? That number's pretty big, actually. We traveled a decent amount.
So would you estimate, give or take, 10 trips a year?
Yeah. Counting weekend trips and stuff, sure. Yeah, 10, 15.
Okay. And we often we go up to anywhere from Portland or can you name a few of the places, vacation places we went to?
What does this have anything to do with what we're here for? This is seriously time wasting. I'm getting really frustrated at this moment.
Yeah, objection relevance. None of this has anything to do with anything.
It has
This
to do
is
with the
ridiculous.
reputation.
Ryan is just simply trying to continue to abuse Sam and using this deposition as a way to contact her. That's all this is.
Literally.
You guys are both obstructing. This is
You're an
just,
abusive psychopath. You kill dogs and beat women. I want that on the record. It's funny. It's funny.
how would you
domestic violence
describe
is
your
real-
communication with Aiden Kearney usually?
What was that? How do I usually communicate with him?
Or how would you describe your communication with him usually?
It's usually when you pull some left-wing BS and then we're unfortunately having to talk again because we really only talk when you have some court thing or something to do, something going on.
Okay, now you realize the reason why you're here is because he's bringing you into the court case at this point, correct?
I signed the paper stating that you did sell and manufacture drugs. Yes.
Okay, just to clarify that.
But it's because you're taking him to court. So that's why.
All right, so you don't remember back in 2017, someone banging on your door at 5:30 in the morning?
Yeah, I do actually vividly remember that. Yeah.
Okay, and you and that was the reason why you ended up trying to seek a harassment order, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Guys. I'm going to finish up soon. I just want to double. Yeah, actually, can we take a quick break on the record?
I have to go to work. This is
He said
ridiculous.
12:15. We have to end this. Don't worry.
Kim, we can't hear you. You're muted.
I'm muted.
Ryan, what time do you have to be at work, Ryan?
Sorry about that. If we're going to go off the record, I need to have everybody agree. At
No,
least
I'm not
both
agreeing.
sides of the record.
I do not agree.
I don't agree.
I do not agree. Ryan needs to be prepared. This is unacceptable and juvenile.
I'm sorry, Ryan. I can't go off the record unless you
That's
both
fine.
agree.
All right. Our daughter had a seizure disorder, correct?
Yes, she still does. Very much so.
How is she currently doing?
That's irrelevant. You really have no right to know anything about our daughter. You gave up those rights 5 years ago when you stopped seeing her.
You have to answer the
I'm
question.
not answering that. I'm not answering that.
Objection.
You do not deserve to know anything about that kid, which is why I'm sitting in this car, because you don't even deserve to hear her in the background.
Objection. This is just a way for Ryan to continue to attempt to have
And at
contact
this
with
point,
child
I'm
abandoned.
fucking shaking, and I'm gonna lose my shit. He's literally been abusing me for 10 years.
What a
I'm done
monster
with
you
it.
are.
I
Absolute
am
fucking
done with
monster, Ryan.
He doesn't deserve to know anything about that
He
kid.
doesn't. I'm sorry he's doing this to you. You're a
Okay.
monster, Ryan.
So,
So I'm not.
Now, you think
answering
that's
that.
funny?
Move
You
on.
think that's funny, Ryan?
Well,
I'll
she's
get a
already
lawyer.
committed perjury
Can I
like
end this
10
and can
times,
I
but
get
I
a
can
lawyer at
prove.
this
So
point?
can we take a? We can't take a break.
No, we can't.
Okay, time out. I'm sorry,
I'm
but
getting
I
yelled at.
can't hear, I can't transcribe or hear, or do anything if everybody's talking over each other. So do we have another question?
Attack and I'm shaking in my
Mr.
car.
Waters?
Well,
because
it's
I'm
really
very
hard to
uncomfortable.
ask questions when I got people yelling at me.
You don't deserve to know about that kid. Don't ever ask about that kid.
I'm allowed to ask about that kid.
No, you're not. Go through DCF.
So you're
Go
saying
through
you would rather, you're saying you would disobey your obligation to give your best.
Stop abusing women.
Yep.
And
I'm
so if we
disobeying.
have a trial,
I
you
will
would
open
not
a
be
DCF
willing.
case
You
so
would
that
not.
way you can't see her. I will do everything in my power so you know nothing about that kid.
So if we have a trial, you
Yes.
would not be able to testify about our daughter.
No. Now, if it has anything relevant to do with right now, you deserve to know nothing. And I
So-
stand behind that. And I will get a lawyer and I will do everything I have to do. I will open a DCF case on myself because they're here to protect me against people like you.
Okay. Now, you told the DCF worker that the reason why you didn't tell the police that or you didn't get a 209A order originally is because you were not afraid of me. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I'm sure I said that because that's what abused people do when they're scared. They do stuff like that. Am I scared of you as a person? No, you don't intimidate me. Am I scared of you for our daughter? Absolutely.
Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna get you exhibit.
And if we have till 12:15, you got 25 more minutes of 35 more minutes asking questions here.
This will be exhibit B or 2. Are we doing letters or numbers? Do you recognize this phone
We're
number,
doing
Samantha?
I'm sorry, we're doing numbers. Just give me 1 second to mark it, okay?
Do you recognize that phone number? Oh, now it's
Yeah, that one was mine. The other one was not mine. The other one was yours.
okay. All right. I will Oh, so do you is it possible you can confirm that you sent the messages in gray?
I mean, if it's my phone number and it's from me, then yeah, but I don't think showing screenshots when I was struggling mentally because I was being abused is going to really help your case. And again, at this point, I would just really rather get a lawyer than continue this because I'm really done with you abusing me.
So
And if we're going to bring this case back around, we're going to do it correctly. And you're going to go down for beating the shit out of me and killing that dog. So if you're going to bring this case back up, Ryan, let's bring this case back up.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Aiden
Let's
Kearney,
do it.
are you
Let's
okay
do
with
it.
are you okay with ending this deposition until Samantha Cardin can get a lawyer?
Oh, whatever she wants to do, I support. Because unlike you, I don't abuse women.
Okay, I guess I am okay with ending this deposition then.
Good luck representing yourself, Ryan. You're going down.
Yeah, it's going great so far, Ryan. It's going great.
Okay, I'm going to take us off the record in 1 second. Just please don't go anywhere. I'm ending this deposition. It is now 11:44 a.m. Eastern Time.
Shit. What are you looking at, Ryan?
Okay, we're back on the record at 11:45 a.m. Eastern Time. Ryan, you ordered this deposition, so you'll be paying for it, correct?
Correct.
And can I ask, does anybody else want a copy? And I believe if you do, you'll have to pay for it, but I can send you a copy.
Yes, I'll take a copy.
I'll take a copy as well.
So you both want a copy. Okay. Okay, that'll come through PDF and you'll get an email, okay?
All right, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, I'm going off the record at 11:46 a.m. Eastern Time.